Some teenage girl alleged and showed screenshots of text messages that Jeff Becerra, vocalist for Possessed, awesome band. I've seen them a bunch of times, met him a couple times here and there, just as passing as a fan. Teenage girl alleges Possessed Jeff Becerra asked for nude photos. He responds. Great Christmas headline going into the season right there. So headbang the like button, stage dive onto the subscribe button, and windmill the video to your friends. If you're a fan of the channel and you'd like to show your support, consider becoming a member. Memberships are only 99 cents a month, and each one really helps me toward my goal of creating a life-size Godzilla to invade Canada. Obviously, this is from Metal Sucks, who are completely non-biased and are pro-journalists, full of integrity. They always get every story completely right. So yeah, I want to say right now, I was suspicious of this whole thing, and I still am a little bit, but Jeff did come out and respond to it, and does admit to talking to this person, and, well, no matter what his intentions were, if they were innocent or not, there's pretty much no fucking reason why a 56-year-old man should be on a texting relationship with a fucking 16-year-old. The fuck are you thinking? Like, come on. A 16-year-old California girl is accusing 56-year-old Possessed frontman Jeff Becerra of engaging in inappropriate conversations online and asking her for nude photo. The allegations are, I'm not gonna lie, I don't know what this word is. The allegations are bayoued? I have never seen that used that way. Perhaps I'm stupid. By leaked screenshots and an audio clip that's recently been making the rounds online. Sophia, whose last name is being withheld because she's still a minor, recently recounted her alleged interactions with Becerra in a recent podcast on the Kill the Posers podcast. In her appearance, she said that she initially began speaking with Becerra out of a deep admiration for him as a musician, having picked up the bass herself. William says, buy you like one of them water floaty things that keeps boats from bumping into shit. That's what I thought of. So like, what? Boo-ed. Jeff is done. Unbelievable, we got Death Metal Diddy before GTA 6. Hang on, that's a little far. I'm not saying, this was good, but that's a little much. As conversations continued, she recounted that he was always very complimentary of her looks and interest in music, but those chats eventually turned into something more. And while she admitted that she may have been harboring a little bit of a crush, especially on Jeff in his younger years, and that's why she might have played along with it at first, she said the whole situation's been a lot to deal with. She was on this podcast, it was long, I listened to like clips of it here and there, I didn't listen to the whole thing. But one of their quotes was, he's just a freak, I guess. A freakazoid. I don't know, man. This shit is all just insane to me because I really didn't expect any of this stuff to happen because he's somebody I really looked up to, and it's just really disappointing because all my friends knew that I love that band. Just a small quote from the podcast. In some of the screenshots, which we've shared below, you can read what looks like Becerra being flirtatious, calling her his little death metal Barbie, and asking her to show something as long as you keep a secret. I do recall him saying multiple times, don't screenshot these messages because this could lead up to something bad. So that implies that he knew that what he was doing was not a good thing and something he shouldn't be doing. Something that could ruin his entire life and his entire career. All right, so we're going to look at the screenshots of the text conversations first and then Jeff's response. This is apparently from her. So I think, which one is it? So the one in green is supposed to be her, right? And then these would be Jeff. Jeff with a heart over his name, which is kind of weird. I mean, I understand as a fucking obsessed kid fan, but just apparently Jeff says, you say every like you have crushed through some numbers, lol, but I know you are innocent. What the fuck? She says, not really. Not really what? Innocent. You are afraid to send short pics. Innocent heart. That was weird. She says, I'm so bored. He says, play bass, take selfies, be happy. She says, more short selfies, lol. He sends a heart, and then no shorts, and then he with a gross face. Not a good look. Not a good look. If these are actual, legit from their conversation, which Jeff didn't really fucking deny, to be fair. We just read that one. And he says, she says, what about you? You got anything else? And then he said something that was deleted. She said, deleted. I watch a lot of like bondage stuff. Nice, says he. This 16-year-old needed parents around. But nostalgia says, this is disgusting. Now I do think them talking at all, especially over text, was wrong. But the reason I have weird suspicions of am off put by this, where was it? She said in the podcast, this shit is all just insane to me because I really didn't expect any of this stuff to happen because he's somebody I look up to. It's just disappointing. But then she says, I watch a lot of like bondage stuff, you know? I mean, it's just kind of weird to be like, oh my God, you're my favorite band ever. And then you're like, I like watching bondage stuff. Should I take more short pictures? And then being like, oh, I didn't expect this at all. Not that it's good. You should have never had each other's phone numbers. Apparently, message deleted. LOL from him. She says, I'm so bored, I'm gonna goon. I might be old. I don't know what the fuck that means. What the fuck does goon mean? I read this comment when I was saying that. Yeah, I genuinely don't know what that is. So if that's supposed to be creepy or something, I don't even understand the reference. Gooning is just edging, but you do it like all day. That is still not helping. It means jack off. Thank you. You could have put it in simple words to understand. Goddamn. Josh L with the comment that I thought. Why are 16-year-olds into bondage, man? That's kind of early and weird. Why are 16-year-olds talking to a 56-year-old about bondage at all? I would have immediately blocked your I wouldn't have your number in the first place, but I would have been like, goodbye. Anyway, she said, I'm so bored, I'm gonna goon. Says, why go? I'm not gonna leave. He says, just go ahead and show. She does a surprise face. Says, LOL. She says, really? Sure. Why not? Are you sure? As long you keep it secret. There are more of these to get tried. Yeah, there was also a voice recording that was weird. This one can't be played, but so the voice recording that I did hear earlier is supposedly Jeff sounding not totally sober, and he says like, if I was your age, we would have pretty little Mexican babies, which is fucking gross, 100%. But I don't know if there's multiple messages here because in that conversation where you see that, it didn't line up with anything they were talking about before or afterward. They were talking about like something. He responded like he was, I'll find that one. He responded that he was like mad about something else, and then that message came through, the voice one, and then they continue with the other conversation, and that was weird. Jeff apparently says, I mean, you can't date guys that are too much older. She does a weird face. He says, I don't know why I said that. Sorry, I'm on painkillers. LOL. You're like jailbait. LOL. 56-year-old man on painkillers. Don't fucking text minors about, you could even be talking about, hey, do you like this Pokemon? Don't fucking say it. No good will ever come from an old man texting a child that they are not related to in any way. She says, for real, haha. He says, ons for real. What the fuck is this? This is either some hip lingo that he somehow knows that I don't, or I don't know what the hell's going on here. This whole thing reeks of hell no. Giggle says, how hard can it be for people to just not message children, right? Isn't that shit so fucking difficult? I've never once in my life had the thought of like, maybe I should message this minor. This will work out well. No. I know that there's some under 18 people who watch my channel, and sometimes I do get comments saying like, I'm this kid who watches this channel. And I'm not gonna lie, even if they just say like, I like your channel, it's awesome, part of me is still kind of weird. I mean, it's you know, I'm not knocking it. I appreciate the fandom, but I think any adult would have that kind of, you know what I mean? Miss Girl says, haha, what the fuck? Lilith says, Rocket, do the cute shit. We'll just bring him back. When we're done with this subject, I'll pull him back up. How do you do, fellow kid? Being drunk is never a good excuse for being creepy towards a 16-year-old, if that's truly the case. I have been on a lot of very powerful intoxicants at the same time in my life, and never once have I come close to saying any of this shit to a child. Bro, a lot of your audience clearly has trouble understanding this. Understanding what? I'm not sure what my audience isn't understanding. This whole thing reeks of hell no. Nostalgia says, this is so stupid because even if Bakara didn't mean to do pedo stuff as an adult, you know you shouldn't be talking about bondage and sex with underage girls. What the fuck? Yeah, 100%. Send your life-size Godzilla. We'll have to see. Blood Red says, still not buying this. Cell phone text screenshots are piss easy to fake. So as I was saying, I have doubts about how like kind of one-sided this thing is. From what I was seeing, I'll give you my Cliff Notes ending here. It does seem like, in my own opinion, that this kid is a little bit of a attention seeker, a little bit of trying to drive this conversation in that direction. However, that does not fucking excuse Jeff texting this person in the first place. You should have never had this person's number. You should have immediately backed away at all times of this stuff. Also, Ishimimoto says that a lot of my audience is having a hard time understanding don't be a pedo. Ishi, I don't know if you're new here, but go fuck yourself. Because my entire audience understands don't be a pedo. We're all shitting on the situation here. I don't know what you're talking about. So if you want to come in here trying to claim that my audience doesn't understand that talking to kids is wrong, you can go fuck yourself. All right? As I said, you can go fuck yourself. You dumb shit. Everyone boo Ishi. Yeah, you know what? Let's bring a little comedy in here.
Boo this man!
Cry about it, you dumb little bitch. I didn't say that, this was all. I didn't say these screenshots were fake or anything. I said that this person seemed like they're a bit of attention seeker and pushing it in that direction, as you can tell from text messages saying, I'm pretty into bondage stuff. You don't think that's a little bit of a, in this situation? They're all bad. Kids who want to talk creepy to adults are bad. Should be slapped with some sense back into them. Adults who want to talk to kids should be fucking boiled alive. If I need to make this clear, for retards like Ish, motherfucker, you think I can't find you? You dumb little pathetic piece of shit hiding behind an anonymous profile. You can Google my name and find whatever you want. That does not scare me, you dumb little anonymous internet bitch. You are probably a fucking little child living at home who thinks tough shit talking on the internet. If it needs to be said, you can clip this and share it everywhere you want. White's Metal says that any adult who talks sexually to kids should be tortured to death in public. Anyone and everyone who does that. So you can go fuck yourself, you dumb little cunt. All right? Now, it's less about coming at me. It's more about coming about my audience. You're not going to come talk that shit to all these people in here. Ooh, you can't even spell. You think you're going to find me. You can't even spell. Get fucked, you dumb little cunt. Anyway, let's continue. I am perfectly fine, Lilith. I just don't like these pathetic internet pansy-ass little bitches. Because what kind of you think that's supposed to be scary? Like, you think I can't find you? You won't do jack fucking shit, you dumb little bitch. All right, you could actually try to have a conversation, try to figure out different points of view, or actually come at it, like approach it, but you want to be a dumb little bitch. Anyway, they're both wrong here, says Nostalgia, but she's underage and he's an adult, so he should have known better. I agree. I completely agree. Lilith says, sorry, I get the trolls out. Xavier says, Wyatt used the power of Ronnie Radke to deal with. That was not my intent. That's not what I meant to happen here. I was also drinking caffeine at the same time. But yeah, he's going to have his dad beat you. Oh, so now I have this child, Ishi, after me. Get in line next to Tim Lambesis and Little Bo Prick and whoever else that I've exposed on this channel. Good times on the internet. Merry Christmas, everybody. Alex Flamer says, wow, that's the angriest I think I've heard you. It came out at the time. I don't care about people saying dumb shit to me or being like, oh, you're a fucking moron or you're this or that or everything. It was trying to insinuate that you guys don't understand that talking to kids is wrong, and then coming out with the you think I can't find you like you're some tough guy, which that shit is not impressive at all. That's why I reacted that way, because it's pathetic, not because I was challenged or whatever, because you're an ant and you can shut the fuck up. John says, hey man, Wyatt. Stormer says, Wyatt, chill, no need to get so worked up about someone who has no idea what they're talking about. Exactly. That's correct. He had poor comprehension skill. Yeah, I mean, that's literally what it was. Which, let this be a lesson, everyone. I did overreact there. You should never let retards trigger you, even that badly. You didn't go Tim Lambesis so that good. That would have been horrible. Imagine, like, YouTuber crumbles, ruins his entire career because he started fucking punching himself in. Shall we continue? Because there's more. Apparently Jeff said, but I like talking to you. She said, hashtag me too. He says, you can be my little death metal Barbie. That was stupid. She said, don't make me blush. He said, I like your cute pics and I'll send you some stuff. He. As I said, both parties are pretty wrong here. But yeah, you are 100% right that he's a fucking adult. Yeah, you should know better. Also, I forgot to add this comment. I would find it hard to believe that Jeff would actually engage in real life physical pedo stuff simply because of the fact that he's in a wheelchair. His legs don't work. How is he gonna, that was why I immediately was like skeptical of the story, because I was just like, his legs don't work. Lieutenant Dan, you got new legs. Anyway, she said, message deleted. She said, well, yeah, I do watch that. He said, not really. Yes, lol. I am not really into that, but occasionally. She said something so weird that creeped him out. She said, I see. He said, what's your favorite keyword search? What a fucking weird, gross question. Nico says, I lost respect for Jeff after hearing what he has done now. Yeah, wait till we get to, his actual, ew. She says something, just guess. Deleted message. She said hot. He said deleted message. Damn my own folder, huh? This kid is, you all need Jesus. This was apparently from the Possessed official account. It's a picture of, I think, some animal, and apparently Possessed official said gooning the poor thing. Gooning. I do that. I'm sure you do. What the fuck is with this situation? Jeff sends a weird, like, sticker looking cutout of himself, it seems like. Claudius with some Hitler joke. Very respectable. What's worse to you guys? Talking this inappropriately with a 16-year-old or sending Hitler memes to a 16-year-old when you're 56? Not the official account. What the fuck? Someone says Linkin Park is awesome. Shippo says, I still haven't really gotten into Possessed. Is this a good time to listen to him? If there was any time. Eric says, oh shit, Claudius is a Possessed guitar player. Ryan says, this is some fucked up news from Jeff. If it's all true, then I'll have to quit supporting Possessed as much as I love their music. Lock this guy up. Right. Blood Red says, who has a cutout sticker of themselves to use for text? Unless he, like, clipped it right then or something. It's kind of weird. Kind of weird. Then again, sending a message about, quote, gooning from the band's official page is also kind of weird. Where's that clip of Rachel Zegler? Weird. Weird. She says, though she claims she wasn't the person to leak the screenshots. Okay. Having initially shared them with friends and her boyfriend at the time, she said she just wants to make sure people were aware that this sort of thing is going on in the metal scene. She said, my end game is just to spread awareness because I feel like there's a lot of this stuff happening in the scene. I think it's really disappointing and puts a lot of dirt on our name. I think people like this don't really have any room to be in the community at all because scumbags like this are just, you're making us look bad. I mean, did you read your own text messages? Like I said, 90% of the guilt should be on Jeff for even talking in this conversation. But you were asking about like bondage and weird shit. I don't know. In the interest of fairness, we have reached out. I don't care what Metal Sucks says. This is what Jeff said in response. Metal Sucks asked Jeff what he has to say. This is his full response to this situation. Josh L says, I love the music, but don't blame anyone who doesn't want to listen anymore. Yeah, pretty much. I definitely 100% after reading this won't blame anyone who was gonna cut off their Possessed patch. So this is Jeff. There is something that I want to address with you before it gets out of hand and hopefully clear things up, or at the very least add some perspective. During the time I was in hospital or shortly after, I responded and had a general correspondence with a 16-year-old fan and her boyfriend. Those of you who know me know that I have never had a problem chatting with any fan. I chat with people from all levels of society, backgrounds, and ages. Up till now, I have never had any problem. I will say that the times I've seen Jeff at shows, he is always talking to fans and hanging out with people. I have known this particular person who is coming out with allegations directed at me since around August. I was always polite, kind, and proper. We had been texting each other with metal related stuff. I don't care. Even if it was just metal related stuff. Don't text a fucking minor when you're an adult with family. If they are not related to you, you have zero fucking reason to be texting a child. I wanted to help her and her boyfriend out with their band, and I gave them VIP tickets to my show. Now, to be fair, I didn't know VIP tickets to Possessed shows were a thing. I thought they were pretty generally. But in the few days directly after my surgery in October, this person really started making off-color comments. Several times I said I'm not comfortable with this and let her know as kindly and gently as possible. I'm old enough to be her father or grandfather for that matter, and yet you still texted her at all. It kind of does go past the line of it really doesn't matter what your intentions were or not, how innocent you were in your head or not, zero fucking reason to be messaging this person. It was my mistake for not just saying, hey, enough, and cutting it off at the very first sign. Yeah, it was irresponsible for me not to. I did not want to hurt her feeling. I tried to sort of ease out of the conversation, looking for an out so I could remove myself entirely from the situation on multiple occasions. I want to set the record straight because the way this is being portrayed online does not accurately show our interaction. What does the chat have to say about that before we continue? Josh L says, not quite lost profits, but still really shitty. Sam says, that does just sound like grooming. Ugh. Miss LaGirl says, not buying it. Griegel says, wonder what the messages with the boyfriend were if this was her messages. Yeah, definitely curious. Xavier says, Possessed was likely booked for Warped Tour with Motley Crue. Damn, that is disappointing. Anyway, Jeff says, my mistake was trying to be too cavalier about it, making too many jokes, especially when taken out of context and cut together, it can seem damning. Keep in mind that these conversations were happening in between sleepless nights and pain-filled days directly after my surgeries and during the time I was in the hospital or shortly afterwards, and I wasn't really focusing on it, but I did tell her that it had to stop and I was going to block her if she continued to send me messages. This all is a fucking shit excuse, I'm not gonna lie. I recently had a surgery where I was heavily medicated and had no thought of ever sending types of messages like this to minors. It's not a good excuse to like, hey, we're talking about bondage with this kid because I wasn't sleeping well, you know? I can understand that, like, to give some benefit of the doubt, if he was on this heavy meds and was trying to be nice to this person and she was being hella weird, like, I could understand just like from the human side of it, of being like, this is a weird situation, I don't really know how to back out of it. But when it comes to the age difference part, that gives a lot more standing to just be like, yeah, no, bye. This shouldn't have been a message of like, hey, I'm going to block you if you continue. It should have been no contact ever. Beyond that, I was told after the fact by those close to me that I was sending them ramblings and nonsense during this time, as well when I was heavily on pain medication. While she persistently messaged me to continue talking, I said no, I am blocking her. So that's why I was saying I do think some of her messages seem kind of weird. I felt this was a fan interaction, and I did not feel as though I had done anything to make her feel threatened or uncomfortable based on the flow of the conversation. I'm gonna let all my underage fans know right now, I do not want to talk about any of this weird shit with you, ever. So, this whole, like, I didn't feel like it was uncomfortable. Yes, it is. You should have known it is. I never asked for anything or tried to pressure her into anything. She kept trying to get me to agree to text her something to the effect of a relationship plan of action, which is obviously out of the question. Does her boyfriend know about that? Up until this point, our conversations were always extremely light and proper. Right after I blocked her, she had connected with my ex-girlfriend, who has a history of trying to paint me as negatively as humanly possible without substantiation. Sound it out. She chose to start publicly sending out calculated screenshots that were craftily strung together and wildly out of context. My ex-girlfriend also started spreading rumors about me and trying to create a false narrative back then, and a couple more times in between then and now. Lots of drama. And up until now, her motives have been more than transparent because people know me pretty well, and because I do talk a lot and say ridiculous out-of-pocket things that are funny to me but not meaningful in any way. They've easily seen right through it. That was a lot. Jesus Christ. Where's the wood shipper? Griegel says, regardless of who's telling the truth, it's big yikes all around. Yeah, definitely true. It's called stay off your socials while heavily medicated so you don't do this shit. It's okay to inappropriately text minors if you're tired. Exactly. We all know the rules. I'm pretty sure that's how it's written in the law. V says, that long explanation is too much. He did it. Smack my head. Pissed away his metal legacy. Where are we? I'm also seeing a lot of false narratives and outright lies, but I want to lay all doubts to rest and let you know that I am not and never have been anything but legitimate. I have been on this earth 56 years now, and I've never had any problems of this kind whatsoever. I worked my entire life and made my name and band around my exemplary reputation, my love of metal, my love for my fans and my supporters. I'm a family man with 2 wonderful children. Many of you may not know this, but other than touring and doctor's appointments, I haven't left the house for well over 15 years. Because of my condition, I'm bedridden except for when I tour or go to doctor's appointments. It is beyond ridiculous to think that I'd be chasing around young girls in my condition or that I would ever want to by any means. Never in a million years would I try to sneak around with a 16-year-old kid. I saw her as a fan. Giving the benefit of the doubt here because no matter what his intentions were, I find it physically difficult that someone in a wheelchair would go to physically cause a crime of this. That said, he says right here that I saw her as a fan. Why are you texting a 16-year-old? Why does a 16-year-old fan have your number? Why are you regularly texting this person? I'm gonna end this by saying this. I know in my heart of hearts that I've made a mistake, coming from a place of harmless humor and the drive to recognize fans as friends, when I should be more mindful of the impression I give to the people I respond to, as I value the connection with my community above almost all else. I understand the perception of me and my actions and how I've disappointed my audience. I understand now that connecting with any and every fan that I can is irresponsible, not always helpful, and can create an uncomfortable situation. I am sorry for the discomfort I have left with her and with all of you. Knowing that this is not a matter to take lightly, I can only say that no matter what happens going forward, I will have learned and continue to be a better man the best I can. My intentions were clear and never had any ill intent. My music is everything to me. I have put my entire life into my music, and all I want to do is play for you and continue with this life that never seems to happen. And to those who have defended me, thank you. You are the best and the reason I keep going. Thank you for being so brave and caring. But first, I got to get well and get back to resting and recuperating. Fucking hell, that was a lot. So that was Jeff's full statement on this whole situation. My voice is tired. Goddamn. Let me see what people in the comments think that we're all wrap this up. Josh L says, I thoroughly dislike everything to do with this story. I agree. People are asking who would take Jeff's spot in Possessed, and people are saying me. I wouldn't ditch my bandmates like that. Ugh, fuck. That was so much to read. I need a breather. Ryan says, Jeff better watch out for Chris Hansen and To Catch a Predator. Why don't you just take... That'll be a thing now at Possessed shows. People will just be like, why don't you take a seat? Just take a seat. Josh L's taking off. Take care, bro. Thanks for tuning in. Sorry for this story ruining something for you. What do you think? Can he bounce back from this? I think that Possessed, the name, will definitely take a bit of a hit. Probably go like down some notches in terms of selling venues, ticket sales, fan interest. I don't think that they'll like go away though. I don't think that it would be. I don't think that this would cause Possessed to be completely banished completely. Timbaland Bassist came back. I mean, come on. You know, if there was like really solid evidence of him doing really bad shit, then definitely not. But it didn't get to that. It does seem like a Dr. Disrespect situation. Really, it's very similar to that. And he jumped back, whether you like him or not. I never gave a fuck about him. So if Kevin Spacey can bounce back, anyone can. Exactly. Will people still wear Possessed shirts? Yeah, I think so. I think a lot of people probably won't even hear about this. Going to like festivals and shows and everything, I'm willing to bet most people probably won't have even heard about this. Not everyone lives online. Yeah, Dr. Disrespect is back on. Well, he was back on YouTube. I think maybe he went to Rumble now. But I mean, he's back in general. So yeah, I think if there was like video evidence or something of him really committing one of these crimes, then it would be a lot more damaging. But this, yeah, I think there will definitely be an initial blowback. But no, I still think they'll probably Possessed out there and everything. But if it needs to be clarified for everybody out there, if you're an adult, don't text children for any reason at all, no matter what your fucking intentions are. You're wrong. Don't do it. If you're a kid, don't fucking be creepy with adults. Come on. That needs to be mentioned too. I do think that pedos should be burned alive in public, but this all could have been avoided if people had used their brain. Alexi says, I personally know the person that Jeff is suspected of possessing, brother. It's a way worse than it seems at the moment. Really? Then that will be very bad. Well, there would have to be more evidence or whatever to come. What the fuck? I mean, if Stephen Hawking went to Epstein Island, then yeah, this is not the metal Diddy. This is the metal Stephen Hawking being wheeled into the. Yeah, no matter what you think of the situation, it's pretty bad. I think we can all come together and boo Jeff Becerra on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Boo this man!
Also, make wood chippers great again. More from me, check out my band Dark Insanity. You can find us on Instagram, on Spotify, on all of the streaming platforms, on Bandcamp as well. We have our EP, Rabid Psychosis, out now. We've got merch available for the channel and for the band. Now you can get White's Metal t-shirts, Savior of Metal hats, Dark Insanity t-shirts, Dark Insanity weed bags. We've got everything. Links for all of my stuff can be found in the description of this video. Anyway, that's it for now, and I'll see you in the next video.